This is the Negro Ninja, and today I want to talk about approaching bitches and why you should not approach them. You see, I don't believe in approaching bitches. I just don't believe in it because the man is dominant. Okay. Now, I just want to talk about how women love my attention. They love the attention. Women love to be seen. They love it. Oftentimes when I'm at a place, I see the same woman multiple times when I should not really see her. Like, for example, if I'm at work or if I am shopping or at the mall or anything like that, I notice that I find certain women in my line of vision. If I see her once, I see her again, and then I see her a third time, and I see her a fourth time. Oftentimes it be in little slick ways. Like, say for instance, if I'm like this on my phone, and if it was a bitch around and I'm talking about, she would be over here somewhere, where that red car's at or something, or just somewhere to where I just have to see her in what looks like a coincidence when it's never a coincidence. Women will be seen by who they want to be seen by. There are no coincidences when it comes to these hoes. Oftentimes, when a woman is about to leave the place that she is at, many times I will get to see her one final time, which is proof that my theory holds weight. You know. And one thing I want to, add to this is, oftentimes when I'm around dudes and they notice that a chick seems to be slick eyeballing and all that type of stuff, that would tell me stuff like, "Hey man, she like you, bro. She like you, bro." Other guy, "Hey, yeah man, why do you strike up a conversation to see if she was sweet?" And I'm like, why the fuck should I have to approach this hoe when she clearly enjoys my attention? She enjoys my attention, but I have to approach her. How does that sound? It makes absolutely zero sense. And there's some psychology to this that I'm going to get into later. There's some psychology behind that shit. What I want to talk about right now is the attention. What the attention is to a whole. Attention is validation. Now attention from a man is completely different than the attention from a bitch. Because women are often competitive with one another. They're trying to outdo each other when they want each other's attention. But when a man gives a woman attention, it makes her feel more validated, almost as if she's chosen, in a sense. And this is how I know this is true. Oftentimes I have seen a bitch look flat out gloomy or just so sluggish or unanimated. Now this is just, let's assume that the woman I'm talking about is not the bitch that we all complain about. Let's just assume that. And I noticed that, I'm like, damn, she ain't got nothing going on. This bitch is kind of, low energy, slothful and all that stuff. And when I look at her, she becomes vibrant and animated. Like she's awakening or something. Like there's a fire that has been, ignited a little bit. Added fuel to her fire. Attention from a man is divine to these hoes. They just won't admit it. They will not admit that shit. See, attention to a bitch. Well, giving a woman attention is the equivalent of the character select screen in a game, particularly a fighting game. I think it's the better example in most cases. You know how some games will have a character select screen and they have the squares, that you scroll over. And above those squares, they will have the polygon model that's kind of animated or something. Like, let's say the other squares, before you highlight them, might even be grayscale. But when you go over to the particular square that you want, it's going to become colorful. And then the portrait is going to also become colorful with little animations. And then when you click, oh, I want to pick this person, then the character gets animated, like, or whatever they do is going to be some type of animation to confirm that they know that you're watching or you pick them or whatever, right? That's how it is with the bitch. That is how it is with the bitch. You know, giving a woman attention is giving her vitality. You're doing her a favor by giving her attention. I don't think it's a bad thing to give a woman attention. The bad thing is how a lot of women reciprocate. Well, they don't reciprocate. They don't respond in the way they're supposed to. And this is why I say that you should not approach a woman, because there's psychology behind this. Now, we know that giving attention to the hoe is divine, because the man is made in God's image. We are made in God's image, and we're given this whole vitality in life when we acknowledge her and not ignore her, like how they try to do a lot of men. Ultimately, a hoe not giving you attention like that, it doesn't really affect you in the slightest. It just kind of, it ain't gonna really fuck with you like that. But it will fuck with her, because, you know, that's why women go insane when they get no attention. And oftentimes they can possibly be dangerous to you. There's no telling what she might do. So, taking into account how the woman really values the attention, and for somebody to say, hey man, go over there and talk to her. You know, they want to put pressure on you to go and talk to the woman. They're putting pressure on you to lower yourself beneath your inferior. Beneath your inferior. There is psychology behind that. So basically, if a woman does not approach you, she's ultimately disrespecting you. You know, and that's after, like, you know, oh, you look at her and there's some type of trigger, like she does some type of gesture to let you know that she's aware of your eyes on her ass or whatever. She's not supposed to just stand over there. She is supposed to make a move. She is supposed to make a move, but they never do. So first of all, it's just, it's like spoiling a woman to have to make the move. That's already draining on levels that we don't quite comprehend. That's already draining, because the woman is, you know, she's basically stealing from you when you're giving her the attention, and she don't come over there and strike up a conversation. She responds to it like, you know, like a lot of times you'll look at a woman and then they'll do like this. You know, they know you're looking, so she's stealing. You're being drained because she's not giving you the right response. She's not giving you the right response. And, you know, if a woman goes out of her way to constantly be seen by you, and, you know, the average person would think, oh, that's just a coincidence. If she going out of her way to be seen by you like 10 times before you leave a spot, or if you just find her constantly around you or in your vicinity, why can't she strike up a conversation? That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful. Now, not only does this symbolize her being a thief, it just symbolizes that she has no respect for the man. She has no respect for God. Now, I'm not saying that the man is God. I'm not being blasphemous. But we are made in God's image. And oftentimes a woman will defy man to defy God. As we both know from the origin story. There's the story of Adam and Eve and Adam and Lilith. We know this. You disrespect the man, you disrespect God. It's saying a lot of things when the hoe does not approach you after all that attention that you have given her. She owes you. You can actually sue these chicks. That's just what I think. You should be able to sue a hoe if you give her that much attention and you don't get nothing from it. The hell? Spider webs over here and shit. So, yeah. If she can stand up there and be seen from your rearview car mirror Do you know how much effort that takes for her to be seen at the right moments? That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. All the effort it takes for her to be seen at the precise moments. That's why these hoes like photographers, bro. That's why they love taking pictures. Everything they do, it's been calculated. And a woman has told me that the other day, though I didn't need her to tell me. It's calculated. And another thing I want to point out is, this also symbolizes how hard your relationship is going to be if you approach her. I'm thinking about all my failed relationships. Although technically it's not a failure, it was a blessing that I just didn't know. And that's just anybody. It's a blessing that you was too caught up in your emotions. Oh, I'm so emotional, I love this bitch. To see that shit. And in hindsight, you don't give a fuck about this shit. You're glad it's over. But think about it. Oftentimes what happens is you make that first move. You do all the work. The relationship does not go further unless you make a move. While she just sits up there bobbing her head while her ego is getting boosted. There's nothing good coming from making the first move with these hoes. There is no good to come from it. And notice how they feel that the man should make the first move. They're too good to make that move after all the attention she got from you. You know, you liven the bitch up. You gave her life. And she just said, fuck you, nigga. Come and get it. Come and get it. Come over here so I can do this. You know, I can reject you real quick. Or just waste your time. Now think about all the things that women do not mind making an effort to do in many cases. The woman does not ever mind disrespecting the man. She does not mind coming up with quick, humorous rejection lines to embarrass a man. The woman does not mind initiating the breakup or divorce. You see what I mean? So she feels very good about doing things that is detrimental to the man, but she has too much pride to do things that benefits the man. I bow down to no nigga. Niggas bow down to me. I will not follow a nigga. And I'm telling you, man, it's some psychology behind this shit. That's why you always get a response from a hoe on some type of level. Now, sometimes even ignoring you is a response. When you come at a woman negative, you probably gonna get some type of feedback from it. See, they don't mind doing that. But it's just a chore to get a bitch to do what she's supposed to do. It's a chore to get a hoe to reciprocate. You can't do it, but that's a lack of a better sentence. But we're just gonna say that for now. I feel good in the shade. I should have worn some shorts, man. Is this Africa over here? What the hell? So, yeah. They have no shame in doing the things that does not benefit the man. Divorces are initiated by the bitch. But she's too good to try to break the ice and start up the conversation. That should tell you something right there. If you have to make a move towards a hoe, then it's a move not worth making. Save yourself a couple of, grands and not, approach that hoe and just get a chick that will come to you. Now, this seems weird on the surface because we're used to hearing things that don't work to our benefit. And in many ways, the dating game is symbolic of the way the world is. The world is ran by Satan. God represents the masculine and Satan represents the feminine. And you can do your research on that because even a Leviathan that's over the clouds that people don't know about and think is fake, it's a woman creature, that big snake that breathes fire that people think is a fairy tale. It's a fucking female, and which is Satan shape-shifting into a giant-ass serpent. So the dating game is basically symbolic of that shit, and it's not rigged in your benefit. The playing field is not equal. It's not equal. So listening to this advice, oh, you're gonna be lonely for a minute, nigga. But guess what? You not approaching these hoes is doing you a favor, because the truth is, you know, the men make the moves, but ultimately it's a numbers game. So what basically happens is we talking to a lot of bitches that we're not really supposed to be talking to, when we could be more focused on being productive in our own lives. You know, niggas could have learned like 12 languages by now, possibly, if they weren't dealing with a hoe. You know what I mean? So the dating game is symbolism that the world is satanic. Do not approach the hoe. Wait for the hoe to approach you. And that saves you lots of time, and it's going to attract better women in your life, in my opinion. Well, it's not an opinion, that's a fact. You will attract better people if you're not trying to talk to everything you think looks good. Because everybody know that hoes are deception. Nothing about the hoe is real anyway. The bitch's makeup is fake, her lips. This bitch got contacts, fake asses, padded asses, fake breasts, makeup to make her breasts look bigger. The list goes on, nigga. The hoe is so fake that if she sneezes the wrong way, everything will fall off. And this has been the N3gro Ninja, bringing you your Negro message for today. Negro out.